Okay. So, it's been a while. How you doing? SrSpookfest here. So, I just wanted to talk and show some stuff and um, yeah, there's a bunch of stuff I'd like to talk about. I think the first thing I want to talk about is yesterday I was on the phone with my sister. Uh, she asked me how come it was so light out because she's up in Massachusetts and I'm in Virginia. So I looked out the window and across the bay here is a big military base, the biggest military base on the East Coast. So we see helicopters, jets, fly by all the time. There's always something flying by. You can feel the helicopters actually like shake the house. So look out the window, and I see an orange light just zigzagging, like going back and forth. And it's, over the ocean, but near the base over there. So I was like, what the hell is that? I tried to show my sister on the FaceTime while we were doing, just talking. So I ran outside and I see this thing doing weird directions like I haven't seen before. I've seen other UFOs and I've seen orange ball UFO. That was my first UFO up in Maine. But this thing moved in such a way I was like, wow, that's got to be it's got to be a UFO. So I ran outside, no shoes on. It's only like 20 degrees out, and I'm trying to film it, and it's pretty far away over the ocean. Didn't really catch it on camera. It was too fast. It zoomed off as soon as I started filming. It took off. So that was a very interesting one. That's my sixth UFO I've seen. I do have a UFO I captured out in front of my house. It's something flying, or only real UFOs actually did a video for me and did the negative view and stuff. Spectral Whispers, hello, what's up? So, yesterday, that's my sixth UFO I've seen. Pretty cool to see another UFO, and I know it wasn't an airplane, a helicopter, or anything like that. Uh, you gotta really pay attention. I should be outside more just watching the skies. We are right on the beach in Norfolk, Virginia. And just the fact that I've caught one on camera, and I tried to catch one yesterday, but we also have a lot of stuff around here. One of the places that's not even like a mile away, I just found, well, my girlfriend just found this for me thanks to her dad. It's called The Ghosts of Fort Monroe, and some weird stuff from Fort Monroe. I would love to go do a ghost investigation there, but it says no ghost hunting. You're actually not allowed to go there and ghost hunt. I think what I'm going to do is actually go there. I have some videos on Fort Monroe, the casement, like inside some of the buildings and stuff. And this fort had Edgar Allan Poe, some General E. Lee, a whole bunch of people. Robert E. Lee played a prominent part in constructing of the fort. He also worked on Fort Wool, which is right across the way. So maybe a mile down the road, maybe a mile and a half, is Fort Monroe, and it's the only fort of its kind. It's what's up, high spirits? How you doing? So I definitely want to get to the fort and go do a secret investigation because you're not allowed to ghost hunt there, but I probably will anyway. When we were there, every guy had a war dog or a little pet dog with them, so they're all buried on the top of the fort walls, and this thing's on the ocean. There's a whole moat around the whole thing. I'll read you a little bit of what Fort Monroe. As a site of history for 400 years, it's not surprising that there are ghosts and spirits at Fort Monroe. Let's see. Famous names, American history. No one seems haunted. Some of the names, visitors, a prominent Captain John Smith. So if you know Pocahontas, yeah, John Smith was there. Who else? Let's see. Jefferson Davis. Lafayette Lincoln, U.S. Grant Jefferson Davis, and let's see, Fort Monroe and Edgar Allan Poe. Edgar Allan Poe was actually locked up in the jail at Fort Monroe for, I think, trying to get out of the army or military at the time. So he actually got locked up there. There's this whole book, it's not very big, but it has some crazy stories and, you know, old Revolutionary War soldiers and stuff like that. So I'm definitely going to go back to Fort Monroe. I already do have a video on it. I didn't see that before. That's cool. Ghost with a cannon. They did have cannons all along the walls up on top. I'll read you some more stuff about this place. One of the coolest forts around. So this was, by the time of the Mexican War, 1845. So by 1845, the fort was almost complete. Opening north and south, the Fort Monroe grew from a garrison of 400 men to 6,000 men. There was 6,000 men on this little fort. It's like an island of its own little thing. It's crazy. I suggest you go check out one of my videos. It's pretty cool. So, General Benjamin Butler, the Union commander of the fort, declared them contraband of war. Freedom Fort. So, Fort Monroe, it's definitely on March 9th, 1862, Merrimack renamed the Virginia, marked the end of the era of wooden ships. So that was 1862. That was probably some of, how you doing, paranormal cryptids, HCF, what's up? Just showing some stuff about the fort I want to go back to, Fort Monroe. And you're not supposed to ghost hunt there. It's actually not allowed. But I think I'm going to go and just sneakily bring some of my equipment that I have. I'll show you. I have a lot that I want to talk about. I'm going to try and keep this to about an hour. So I got REM pod. We got K2s. These are, you know, a lot of people say they're useless. Some of them say they're not, but I also wanted to talk, I wrote down some stuff that I also wanted to talk about. One of the last videos I just did was Willoughby Spit on the beach. So I did a small investigation because it was freezing out. So I was there, REM pod did go off a couple times, did get one K2 hit, and then I did think I was hearing clapping, which was weird. You know, you're at the ocean, maybe it's just the waves, but after I decided to end it, I seen somebody standing at the edge of the water, just like as a silhouette. It looked like the outline of a person. Freaked me out enough for me to like try and shine my flashlight at it, and there's two videos. So once I stopped and then I started another video, when I was walking away and filming myself leaving the beach, I did catch what looks like a person running by at the end of the road. I'm still not sure if it was a person or not. It might have just been a person, homeless person or something, but it was midnight and like 20 degrees out. So I didn't see, when I got to the end of the road, I didn't see anybody walking by. I didn't see anybody walking down the street. So I do think that was a shadow person, and that's definitely not the first shadow person I've seen. Woohoo, 4 people. What's up, 4 people? Yeah, see, high spirits, thank you, man. It was weird, because I've seen shadow people before, and that's pretty much what they look, just like a black shape of a person. When it was standing on the beach, it scared the hell out of me. So, definitely check out my other video on Fort Monroe. This little book is really amazing. Let's see, I'll read you some more of what Fort Monroe, which is like a mile down the road. The fort, so on May 13th, 2005, the base decommissioned, closure in 2005, so there was no more military or army guys there in 2005, and fully the fort was closed as army installation and was decommissioned on September 15th, 2011. So really not that long ago, which is crazy. I didn't know that. And in 2011, it was declared by Barack Obama, state-run Fort Monroe Authority National Park Services continue to carry on a living history of Fort Monroe today. It's named a National Historic Landmark in 1960. Some of the stories, VIP Ghosts of the Old Quarters #1. So these buildings are 1609. That's some of the first buildings built on this little thing were 1609. This place is old. It was mostly completed in 1834, and the earliest buildings were built before the 1820s, but in 1609 constructed the old Point Comfort site, originally Point Comfort. So it's not Point Comfort anymore, it's Fort Monroe, but that is a very old fort. Some of the ghosts, I do know, I just watched a thing about Edgar Allan Poe and how he passed away. He actually, something happened where he was so drunk for like 4 days and then he passed away. So there's some weird things about that maybe he had like dementia or a brain tumor or something. That's one of the more interesting stories. Let's see what you said. Seen one once. Went past my brother, thought it was lightning messing with my eyes from the renown of the show I was watching and see if it happens again. Nothing. It was big. Are you talking about shadow person? That's pretty cool. I've seen, that would be my fourth shadow person that I definitely have seen. The first shadow person that I saw, I was about 16 years old. I used to live up in Massachusetts at the Bridgewater Triangle. And what we all saw, so there were 7 of us, 3 girls and 4 boys, and we were all just running through the tunnels of Paul A. Dever up in Massachusetts, the Bridgewater Triangle, and we knew it was an old asylum for mentally ill and mentally challenged people, and they, overloaded the amount of people. There was too many people. A lot of people died there. So after a couple hours of walking through the tunnels underground, there's a couple miles of tunnels that connect all the buildings. We were leaving, and you had to climb up and out a window to get out into the fields and stuff. And when we were leaving, somebody was standing right outside the window. I kind of put my hands up thinking it was security. It was not security. Even my girlfriend at the time screamed. One of my friends backed up and was like, that's not security. It was actually only about 4 feet tall. It was a small shadow person. You could kind of see through it, but the outline of a person, black shadow. When it ran, it started running from us. You could see the grass, the tall grass in the field, move as it was going, and it's straight into a brick wall, and poof, gone into a building across the field. Now, after that, I really started looking into paranormal. I got completely obsessed with trying to see it again, maybe, find some evidence. That's pretty much what started me doing this. I love ghost hunting. I probably will never stop. I know I'm a tiny channel, but I'm still going to keep going, and I try and just get proof. I don't like fake crap. I just want to find real proof of paranormal. That's what I'm out there for, usually when I go out. Greg and I saw a UFO during the annual Bridgewater Triangle show. Yes! I've seen one at her house too, Spectral Whispers. We were on her back porch. I think I even have that filmed. It was just a light in the sky, moving really weird, and it's not the best footage. I think we were out partying, having some drinks, and then that light just showed up. Okay, take the puppy outside. Hi, puppy. The second time I saw a shadow person, we actually were in Middleborough, up in Massachusetts, and where my girlfriend's house was General Tom Thumbs. If you don't know who that is, look up Tom Thumb, or, Thomas Thumb, General Tom Thumb. He was a famous little person that actually was considered a general. He was knighted by the Queen of England and all this stuff. Very famous guy for that time. way back, and that was his carriage house. And we knew the house was haunted. It was such an old house. I mean, probably built 17, 1800s. I'm not sure exactly when. But one night, what I thought was one of the kids coming downstairs, my sister-in-law's kids were sleeping upstairs. I thought I saw somebody come down the stairs. I look over and I'm like, what's up? Nobody there. Just shadow person walking down the stairs. I believe my girlfriend called him David, and he has fucked with her before, and not since we've moved away. We moved away. But the next one I saw, so I've seen 4 or 5 now, which is pretty crazy to me. That's what really got me into all of this. There's so much that I'd like to talk about. So the Willoughby Spit and Fort Monroe, Edgar Allan Poe. There's ship landing sites all up and down this coast of Norfolk, the beaches and stuff. One of the landing sites had over 600 people on one of the tall ships, an old wooden ship landing site. I have done an investigation over at Monkey Bottom Park. It's actually what it's called, Monkey Bottom Park. A funny name. But that was an interesting little investigation. I didn't really get much hits on my equipment, but that's not always the important part. Basically your equipment's to help you out. They're tools. What's up? Welcome back. So what else did I want to talk about? I don't know what else I wrote down here. Shadow Kid, I already talked about. Paul A. Dever. Another one, my first UFO encounter. This one is pretty interesting because I was also with 5 or 6 people. So up in Maine, we were on a lake, and it's surrounded by mountains. You're in like a valley of mountains, and the lake's pretty big. All right, let me read this and then I'll continue that story. Last couple of weeks, I think I've seen something around 2 foot tall that goes past my room at night. I always just catch it in the corner of my eye, and a few strange things lately. Yeah. Well, that's good. Doesn't mean anything bad. I can't stand these people saying demons and like everything's evil. Not everything's evil. You're not always going to get demons and fucking skinwalkers. Probably just somebody visiting you or going through the area. You have to think of the land more than your house, or think way back, because people have passed away everywhere. So some of the most haunted places are out in the middle of the woods. You're not just going to have an area that isn't haunted. Most areas are haunted. Nothing threatening in this house. Yeah, see, that's the same here. I've had, what we call ghost cat. I see that running past on the floor a lot, and it's just a little black shadow, maybe that big, that will scoot by. And my girlfriend sees it, my mother-in-law, even my son has said, hey, what was that? And saying there's a cat. We don't have a cat. So it will even be the shape of a cat, which is really weird. Feel fingers touch you lightly all the time. Everybody has it happen here. I've been pinched. Out on this front porch, we definitely have some activity that I think it's the land that we're on, because this little area, we're on what's called Willoughby Spit, is a little spit of land, like on a peninsula. There's not much land. We're on like beach on either side. We're surrounded by ocean. So I was sitting there, we got a lot of answers, we were doing Estes method. I thought like a bug, or Alicia actually came up, my girlfriend came up and touched me to get me out of the Estes method, because I had a blindfold on, headphones in. She didn't touch me. I watched the video a couple times, and you could see I freaked out, because that was the first time I've actually been like touched physically. That one's pretty crazy. Yeah, so another, I'll show some stuff, so some more, I'm just telling true stories, things that have happened to me and things that I find very interesting. So here's one of the more recent stories. I just went to Mothman Museum not too long ago, and I got this map in black. I'll show you some of it. I can't open it up all the way, but so yeah, it just has it has all the hot spots, as you can see, like all the markings and stuff. So it's really interesting. This shows the entire United States, and each little point on here has different, UFO sightings or cryptids or Bigfoot or cave systems that have, never been searched and things like that. What I was watching the other day, when I watch a lot of weird things on YouTube. So I'm looking at my map and I'm watching this lady talk about how the missing 411, the missing people and cave systems, and how much actually they line up. So UFO sightings, cryptids, ghost sightings. If you look at the maps, a lot of the marked spots that you'll see actually coincide with missing people. They also coincide with cave systems and Bigfoot sightings. The maps, if you want to go look at some of the other maps, look up missing people map, and then look up cave system map and like national forest maps. They link up perfectly. And this, I don't think you can get this. You'd probably have to go to the Moth Museum to get a map in black, because this has everything from UFOs, cryptids, haunted ghost ships. I mean, they didn't miss anything. They really put this together very well. And when I'm looking at this, it lines up and coincides with missing people, cave systems, Bigfoot sightings, and everything. It's pretty insane how a map with cryptids and UFO sightings and Bigfoot and everything would line up with missing people maps, like the map that shows cave systems, the map that shows hot spots for weirdities, just odd things. Very interesting. I would suggest checking out the map in black. I would suggest checking out those other maps and how everything coincides. I've seen someone get possessed. I've been oppressed twice myself. I know you have. I've heard your stories. You've told me. Even, I think you went to a battleship and you got pushed. And when I went to the USS Wisconsin, there's a whole video on me and Riley running around a whole battleship, which is parked right down the street here. They put it, on dock, and you can go through the whole museum, see the big guns and everything. Very interesting. We're walking through there, and I'm trying to keep track of Riley, because I did lose him in there, because it's huge. It's a gigantic battleship. So I'm running around looking for him. I found him, and he's like down in the belly of the ship. When I find him, we're walking through. I'm like, all right, come on this way. We're near the barracks where all the guys would sleep, and we start hearing, and no joke, I heard knocking, and we both looked, and maybe it's just battleship noises or whatever, but nobody else was around. There was nobody down that deep in the ship but me and him. And he's standing in front of me going, what was that? And I go, I don't know, just probably a ghost. And I know people passed away on that boat. That boat was in battles, stuff like that. Very interesting. Oh yeah, High Spirits, your kid's name's Riley. That's cool. Yeah, he's not very good to try and film with. I tried to capture the UFO yesterday. When I ran outside, it was still there, but like kind of zigzagging and taking off. So the UFO was already gone by the time I got my camera up, and I'm looking, and he's just screaming, Jesus, what? And screaming. So I had to stop recording, and I couldn't use it because he's screaming on camera, and it just doesn't really look like anything. It looks like I'm trying to film a sunset. But I almost caught it on camera. That you might even see like a little speck of it. I might upload it and take the noise out because he's screaming weird things. I told them to name him Batman. Give him, his middle name's Emery, but we could switch it to Emery Batman. My lad's got no interest in the paranormal. My daughter loves it. Yeah, he's too young. My kid's only 5. He doesn't really know. He doesn't even think much of like Ghost Cat, even though he's seen it. What else was I gonna talk about? I see. I wrote down a bunch of stuff. So another thing I was looking into, because I love old history. I love weird facts. I love weird cryptids. I love old weird technology. My favorite inventor is Nikola Tesla. I'm actually an electrician, so I know how electrical stuff works, such as like even REM pod. I've always suggested, actually, thanks to PSI, check out PSI Paranormal, to put the REM pod into a wire mesh Faraday cage. Now, with a Faraday cage, I know this is just a theremin, like a musical instrument. When you get close to it, it makes tones. Now, if you put this in a Faraday cage, it should not be able to go off. There's no interference, there's no way that this would go off. I even took the wire off of it. It did go off in the Faraday cage. So that is a very good test. If you're going to be using REM pods, I suggest get some screen, like an actual window screen, the metal mesh, and actually make a little square box and put your REM pod in there, or your K2, or anything. Any of your equipment that would pick up your, would go off because of your camera, such as the K2, always goes off. See? That's just from my phone. That's my phone signal setting that off. But if I put this in a Faraday cage and then hold it up like this, it won't go off at all. I could go get it, but I'm not gonna. But it does show a lot more proof that something is interacting with it when it's in a Faraday cage. It's a good idea to actually do that more than, look, a lot of people are holding their phone or camera, and cameras and phones can make these things go off, even all the way to red. You got to be at least that far away, 3-4 feet, for it not to go off. Even then, just slightly too close and it's going to go off. So there's some good techniques to use for equipment. You need to actually use your equipment correctly. I know a lot of people say the equipment's shit. It's not. It works. It's the operator. You have to be using your tools correctly in the situation. You can't just assume, look, we got a ghost, you guys. Oh my god. That's always a good path. You gotta realize what you're using. This one will not go off at all near a phone. It won't even go off. Maybe you can get the needle to jump, but this will really go off if you put it next to an outlet or lights or actual electrical source. What's up, Sky Talker? How you doing? So, I've reviewed a bunch of stuff. If you want to go back and watch this will be up after this. So I've talked about Willoughby Spit ghosts, the Fort Monroe ghosts. This book is very interesting. I'm glad we found it. Let's see what year this is from. Casement Museum gift shop. Let's see when this was written. Oh, no problem. You're not late, because I'm going for at least an hour. Let's see. So this was Jane Keane Polanski and Joan McFarlane Drum, 1972. So this was 1972 that this little booklet came out, the Fort Monroe and the ghosts of it, and how Edgar Allan Poe got arrested there and was locked up in the casement in the jail. Robert E. Lee. There's so many famous people that were at the fort. I'll just read. Yeah, Benjamin Butler, the general. John Smith. So John Smith was Pocahontas' husband. I watch all streams because I chat. Okay, good. What's up? Talk to me about stuff. Who else? Lafayette Lincoln, U.S. Grant, Jefferson Davis, famous people. Probably the most famous is Edgar Allan Poe, but a lot of it was built. Robert E. Lee had a big part and prominent part in actually helped build the fort, and that's Robert E. Lee. This is Revolutionary War stuff. This fort held 6,000 guys at one point. It started off with 400 military guys and went to 6,000. So, and a lot of the battles, like the Union commander of fort declared them contraband of war. So called it Freedom Fort before it was called Fort Monroe. And it was, let's see, 1834. That's when the fort was completed, but in 1609, that's when the fort was started. Some of the first buildings built there were in 1609, which is, jeez, man. And it didn't close completely until 2005, and then it was decommissioned and considered a historic landmark in 2011 by Barack Obama. Hi, spirits. What's up, spectral whispers? This is saying something about William Shakespeare. See, I haven't read this whole book yet. I've just read some of it, but I know Edgar Allan Poe was locked up there. Here's Lincoln in the old quarters. So Lincoln actually went to Fort Monroe, and he had a little room in there. Old Point Comfort. Verena Davis. Some of the famous people that were there: Robert E. Lee, Sergeant Austin's Blaze of Glory. Just reading some of this. This is a very interesting read. If you want to look up Fort Monroe, I'm sure you can get a lot of info on Fort Monroe. It's in Virginia, Norfolk. I've been checking out the alarming number of scientist star forts picked up by satellites. You can see them in Google Earth maps. Catch up, carry on, ignore me. So also check out Map in Black, what I was talking about a few minutes ago, that the Map in Black has, this is a big map, it shows the whole United States, but I'm just showing the East Coast here. See all those little points? This map actually coincides with missing 411, people going missing in national parks. A lot of the cave systems line up with all the, like there's the Flatwoods Monster, one of the more interesting ones in West Virginia. So along with Mothman, this was seen even before Mothman, and that's a really crazy story if you want to look up the Flatwoods Monster. What else was I was talking about? World's Fairs. So the old World Fairs, some statistics of the World Fairs were pretty crazy. So what I just was watching about the World's Fairs, some of the technology that they had at World's Fairs were way beyond what we understand and how they did it back in the 1800s. I mean, some of the first World's Fairs were in 1800s. They made a building with 90 million bricks, like red bricks, by hand. There was no assembly lines or like easy way to build stuff. So they actually built a 90 million brick building that held more people than any building we have today. They're still not sure exactly how they built them within 2 years. Some of these buildings. Part of Blue Book, yep, Blue Book. If you watch one of my Mothman Museum videos, you could see the actual, like, they have the Blue Book and then like little pieces of paper, you know, considering, oh, there's this going on, and it was like actual like affidavits of people talking, the military guys talking about what's going on. I think that's from even Flatwoods Monster, Mothman, Indrid Cold. Indrid Cold was one of my favorite alien guys. He basically took a spaceship, landed, and talked to people. Got out of the ship, looked like one of you and me, but just smiled, didn't actually move his mouth, but could talk to people and ask them weird questions like, what do you do for work? How old are you? Do you have kids? And then just get back in the spaceship and take off. There's multiple stories of Indrid Cold doing that. Wasn't that part of Blue Book? Mind if I smoke? Thanks, Puff Puff. Yeah, good idea. I'll smoke. So, the amount of stuff I've had go on at just this house, and I know my house is haunted, which is fine with me. It's nothing negative. I do believe my girlfriend's dad is around sometimes. We have ghost cat. I've seen black orbs. 2 nights ago, I seen a black orb actually float past, and I thought it was like, what's that stuff when you see shit in your eye? You kind of see fluff in your eye, or like a floaty. It wasn't. I rubbed my eyes. I could still see it kind of moving across the room, and then poof, just gone. So that was an interesting one the other day. Yeah, I got 5 people. What's up, 5 people? Some more stuff that I wanted to talk about. Even continuing on with the World's Fair. The World's Fair, the number of people, if you look at the one over in California, 258,000 people a day were showing up to the World's Fair, is more than Disney World and like Disneyland and, you know, like SeaWorld combined. How did they get there? That was back in horse and carriage. We had one train maybe. The train system wasn't up and running like that. Even the ones overseas in Paris and the other ones where, you know, Eiffel Tower is and stuff. 250,000 people a day. The population wasn't even that big. There was, you know, 1 billion people or 2 billion people in the world, and over the couple of days, 6 million people showed up to the World's Fair. How did they get there? There was no flights. I mean, you'd have to take a boat. It would take you a week to get there if you were coming from America. Stuff like that. The numbers do not add up for World's Fair amount of people. Some of the things that they built. Tesla, the first electricity was ever introduced because Tesla actually brought electricity, AC electricity, to the people in the World's Fairs. Pretty crazy stuff. So look into some of the old World's Fairs. You'll see what I'm talking about. World's Fair is a very interesting story. Forgotten technologies. I'm saying yes, there's definitely forgotten technologies. The first computer was actually found, and it was like 2,000, 3,000 years old, and it looks like just a gearbox with some gears and some other things. They're not even sure today what the hell it is. They've looked into it, like CT scanned it, and they're looking at it, and they still don't understand exactly what this little... It was found at the bottom of the ocean. Pretty crazy that they might have had computer type power or machines that they built back then. Yeah, big crowds for back then. I mean, how the hell did they get there? You'd have to take a horse and buggy, or you'd have to take a train, which there was only one. How did they get 250,000 people in one area? And, you know, they had the World's Fair for a week, what, 10 days maybe, the World Fair? Hi. Yeah, you can go ask Mom to do that. Will you shut the door? I'll come out in a little bit and I'll play with you. He wants to build a Halloween gingerbread house. That was Riley. If you had a time machine, where would you go first? Me? Oh, I don't know. Time machine, probably when they're building the pyramids, to see what the pyramid power source actually was, because I do believe that the pyramids had a power source. Come on.
What?
Go.
Why?
I'm doing something. He wants to play. Sorry, guys. Ugh. But yeah, probably the pyramids, or place, you know, something similar, pyramids, or if I could go far enough back and there actually was Atlantis, I'd probably go to Atlantis. Or Tepi, I forget what it's called. Some of the oldest Sumerian, some, you know, very old. Hi, spirits. You ever hear that bloke was skiing, turned up across the country in the same gear without any way to get there? Yeah, I've heard that story, High Spirits, actually. So a guy skiing in, say, I forget where it was, but I do know that story. He's in Colorado and ends up in New York. Yeah, I've definitely heard that story. I always said I'd go back to see what really happened. I'd probably go hang out with Nikola Tesla, pick his brain about some of the. He swore he talked to aliens, and I'm saying you probably could if you actually had enough power and used enough Tesla coils, and you could probably open a portal. Speaking of portals, I do think something happened at the mall in Miami with the 10-foot shadow aliens. I don't really think they were shadow aliens. Uh, Funny though that it happened the way it did. When do they send 150 cops to one area? I think there was either the government or somebody was pulling a heist, robbing somewhere else. Big distraction. They, might have paid some people to go to the mall and turn on a device that actually did look like a portal opening, or it was just fireworks, but enough of a distraction where all the cops leave an area, everybody's distracted watching the mall, and all the stories are about the mall. What else was going on around that area? Were they trying to move something and they needed a distraction? So classic movie plot, misdirection, man. You can distract people. And I'm burning my map. No. So yeah, I think it was distracting. Steve, someone, missing 411. It's funny, missing 411. Check out your map. That you can look up a map that will show you all the cryptids and UFO sightings and ghost ships and different things, and it correlates with missing people, cave systems, national parks. It's very weird that they correlate like that. I'd want to see the construction in the making. You're talking about the pyramids? Yeah. I think they actually... So, there was another thing I was looking into, that red bricks actually hold energy in a certain way. And a lot of the buildings at the World's Fair had a peak on them, a point. So, are they drawing energy into the red bricks? Did the pyramids draw energy into those giant rocks? That's what I used to think. And if there was a river running underground, sand, water, movement creates electricity. How do you think they lit up inside the pyramids? They did not have burn marks inside. They didn't carry torches into the pyramids. They had freaking light bulbs back in the pyramid times. Getting people prepared. Yeah. That's what I thought. So many cops. Maybe that was a decoy. Probably a decoy for... Maybe something was actually being moved. The government was trying to do something and they needed a big distraction, so alright, well, let's just put something in the mall in Miami, get these kids, shoot a gun. They have it's kind of like a full sale, or whatever you would call that, a conjecture of cops. When you have that many cops go to one area, everything else is wide open. Every cop is in one area. You have freedom from all the cops in that whole area for miles. They're all doing something and busy. So something went on. I don't think it was really aliens coming here. The fact that the coordinates from Miami Mall go exactly to Antarctica, that's pretty weird, because I do believe there's alien bases in Antarctica, or government bases, maybe Nazi bases. I know the Nazis went to Antarctica. So many cops. Maybe it was a decoy. That's why I like jellyfish UFO. It's even real. Jellyfish UFO is pretty interesting. I mean, an organic looking UFO, but I did see some footage of cleared up pictures of the jellyfish UFO. Kind of looks like a little robot flying in a little machine with its legs dangling down, and it had some other things hanging off of it. If you ever heard of jelly rain or goo rain, there are cases of jelly rain or goo rain, the goo falling from the sky, and people don't know what it is. It's on the ground. You can look that up on YouTube. Just type in jelly rain or gooey rain, and there's goo all over the place. I think maybe that jellyfish UFO poops that stuff out or drops it, and they even DNA tested it and stuff. It's not, there's no significant sign that it's actual organic matter. They have no idea what it is, and it's just falling out of the sky. Kind of like frogs have rained, fish have rained, bugs have rained, raining worms. There's all sorts of weird stuff like that. They are really ramping up the UFO subject at the moment. It's it's pretty funny. It's important for them to do that because it could be misinformation. But from what I've seen, if the government has ships like that, and I've seen 6 UFOs now in my life. It's pretty crazy. Oh, I didn't even tell my first UFO story up in Maine. I'll tell that in a second. Let me read some of these. The Bosnian period is not a hoax. Pyramids are all over Earth. Huge structures need huge workforces. Maybe that's where the missing are taken. Pyramids of the Sun. I've seen similar. UP at ISSI. Yeah, the International Space Station. Never rains money. I wish. Hey, what are you doing? Go play.
No.
Okay, well, Riley's here. Say hi, Riley.
Hi.
Hi. So, my first UFO story, I meant to tell this and I kind of skipped over it. Me and my 6 friends on the beach were 15. I was probably 14. My sister was like 16. We're all on the beach up in Kyoka. We were surrounded by mountains. A bright orange ball above the lake, like 100 feet, probably bigger than a house. It was huge. You could actually see the reflection on the lake of this thing hovering above the lake. So we seen the reflection. We're all looking at it going, what the hell is that? And I'm dumb enough, I'm waving at it because I'm young and I'm like, oh, UFO, just say hi. It takes off, it zooms off into zoop, just like infinite speed, gone. We all shocked, try and tell our parents. So we're trying to, everybody, all of us young kids trying to go and tell our parents what we just saw. They didn't really believe us. So, see, everybody's saying hi, Riley.
Hi.
Say hi to yours from Australia. Teehee. Hi, Australia. Hi, Real Evidence, what's up? Hey, Spectral. Hi, Real Evidence. How you doing, Real Evidence?
Hi.
So, once it disappeared and we're all running back, so I had been waving at it like an idiot because I'm a kid and I was waving at the UFO above the lake. When it's 100 feet off the water, we could see the reflection. Everybody knew it was a UFO. We knew it looked like a dark orange sun, about that big above the lake, probably 300 feet out over the water, 100 feet up off the water. Once I had stopped waving at it and it disappeared, for about a week or 2 weeks after that, I had the same recurring dream from the viewpoint of the UFO of me waving at myself on the beach and all my friends, and you could see us run away, and then I just disappear with the UFO. Don't touch, bud. What are you doing, silly? So that was a really scary. I haven't had that dream in a long time. I was young, but I mean, I guess maybe it's just my own imagination that I was on the UFO and looking down at me and my friends, but it was the exact viewpoint, and it was kind of just like I was floating there above the lake at the spot of where the UFO was, and I could see myself waving at myself. Very freaky dream I used to have. I'm glad I don't have it anymore. Hi. You gonna say hi? You wanna say hi?
Hi.
So, anything else you guys want to talk about? So far I've talked about Willoughby Spit, where I live, and the ghost that warned you of storms. I know you don't like ghosts. Willoughby Spit ghost has been spotted since the 1800s. They believe it was a crew member of an old wooden ship that actually passed away and is either looking for his ship or looking for his crew, which it probably was a sunken ship, which, yep, last year they had a ship that actually was found from 1640, and it's
200 miles.
yeah, it's like really old. And the ship was just discovered. All they've really found, it's off the coast here, probably a few miles from my house. They found the cannons, and they've just scratched the surface of this old ship that they've found. They believe it's an old treasure ship, which I've gotten treasure on my spirit box a few times out on the front porch, buried, and then treasure to get, coinciding weird words like that.
Like Mr. Beast, I saw his YouTube video. He
The
got
orange
darker
lights are
13
one of the most
hours.
common. Had an ex that saw one shoot across the field, and she said info, anything like that, not something you would expect from her to say. Right. Like, none of us had even expected to see a UFO. We went out on the beach at night just to have fun, probably, party a little bit because we're young kids all hanging out at a campground. Mwah. All right, go play, bud.
No, baby, he got darker 14 hours.
14 hours?
Yeah.
All right, go watch your TV. I'll come play with you in a little bit.
Yay!
I'm almost done. I'm just talking to some friends. You poked yourself in the eye. I saw that. Don't poke yourself in the eye.
I did already.
Thank you. Yeah, he's a good kid.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, you're a good kid.
Wait, what?
You gonna go watch TV? High five. All right. So yeah, if there's any subjects you'd like me to cover, I have my hand in every subject. I try and look at everything, and I do believe everything is connected. I was gonna try and keep this to about an hour, so I might go over a little bit if you guys. I still have 6 of you here. Woo! That's like my best live stream. It's been a while since I've done a live stream. Yeah, still. Map in Black, one of my favorite things. You could probably look this up online. It gives you all the cryptids, and I can't open this all the way because it's just gigantic. I'll open it a little more to show you some more of the stuff on it. A very cool map. And what I've been talking about, oh, don't rip it. Very cool map with a whole bunch of just every UFO sighting, every Bigfoot sighting, every cryptid sighted. I mean, this thing is gigantic. I don't want to ruin it, so I'm not going to open it up much more than that. I mean, the funny part is how much all of this coincides with, like, every point where there's a Bigfoot or a UFO or, aliens or anything that would line up with cave systems or national parks or missing people. I mean, it all coincides. It's all lined up. If you look at the maps for Missing 411, if you look at different maps for cave systems or high strangeness areas, it all lines up with cryptid sightings, UFO sightings. I'm definitely messing this map up. I don't want to mess it up anymore. Holy moly spooky. Now that's what I call a big map. Yeah, it's the whole map of the United States. I really don't want to ruin it, and I am. Oh no. But so I'm into a lot of things, as you can tell, and I do believe a lot of it is connected. So from UFOs, Bigfoot, cryptids, my favorite is Mothman. Check out my video on the Mothman Museum. Very interesting.
Wow.
Please go.
That's cool.
Please go. No, don't touch.
No, I'm not going to touch it.
Okay.
That's cool.
I know it's cool. I'm trying to fix it because I'm ripping it.
I do.
That's why I usually don't open this all the way. This thing is gigantic, so it's hard to get back into its form. There we go. So yeah, check out Map in Black. Do you know Deborah Hatswell? She gets huge catalog of UK cryptids here. She sent me a link. I'm shocked to see how many reports there are here. I have not, but I will definitely. I can't talk right now, Riley. I want to write this down. So that is Deborah Hatswell. I'll check that out. I'm going to write that down. Deborah Hatswell.
Oh, I love that baby. I love his name.
Okay, so yeah,
I like that guy.
It's a girl.
Uh.
But Alright, go play.
Where's the girl?
I'm almost done here.
Where's the girl?
So, check out Fort Monroe, The Ghosts of Fort Monroe. You probably can't find this. This book is from 1972. So you might not be able to find this, but I'm sure Fort Monroe and right across the water is Fort Wool. Fort Wool was almost, it's just as old, the same type of fort. A lot of famous people, Edgar Allan Poe, General E. Lee. It's just so many that I can't really name them all. I've been reading through this book. So John Smith, Pocahontas' husband, was there. Abraham Lincoln was there. Robert E. Lee. And it held 6,000 men at one time back in 1845. After 1845, so in 1845, the Mexican War, 400 men were there, and then after that, let's see what year, where is it? 1861, there was about 6,000 men at Fort Monroe. She will send you a link if you ask. She was on a hangout just before I went on. Alright, yeah, I'll definitely look into that because I'd like to see some of what you guys have over there, over in the UK for cryptids. I know you guys have different stuff, definitely different hotspots, castles. I've always wanted to go to a castle. I've always wanted to go to my aunt's house in Ireland. I know her house is haunted because my sister went and spent 3 weeks there. She said the house is very haunted. There's many stories that my sister told me that were high weirdity, high strangeness. They said they saw an angel on top of a mountain, and my little cousin Kathleen was not expected to live past the age of like 15. She had a severe lung damage problem where she actually has her lungs replaced now. Both her lungs got replaced, and she's doing fine. She's actually doing really good. I think she's 23 or 24 now. So she lived, but when they were there over in Ireland, they went on top of a mountain. A lady walked up to them with a mirror, gave them the mirror and said, "You'll be fine, honey," and talked to my little cousin Catherine, who was probably 12, 13 at the time. So everybody thought, well, she's not going to live much longer, but the lady disappeared. And this was one of those hilltop mountains that it's just grass all around. My sister swears that the lady came up, gave them a mirror, so I'm pretty sure Kathleen still has the mirror, and the lady was gone. I think it was her guardian angel, and I do believe that it manifested and then disappeared and just wanted to give her some reassurance. She's like married now, she's older, she's 20-something, 24, she's a new pair of lungs, she's doing great. So that's a really good story that my sister told me when she came back from Ireland. I swear this is not anybody messing with the lights. That all of a sudden just started happening. Hello. So I've been going 58 minutes and the lights have not done anything like that. Told you my house is haunted. That is weird. The whole time I'm going, that doesn't happen. And now it's... And I know he didn't touch it. He's not even in here. Huh. Okay. All right. Well, hello. That's a little, what? I have the... That's weird. Okay. Well, just somebody saying hi to me. Probably because I'm talking about all this stuff. Hi, Dad. Yeah, exactly. That was strange. See what I mean? I'm not messing around. That's just stuff like that happens here all the time. We hear knocks. I've seen shadows. I've been pinched out on the front porch. You can check that video out. I believe it's called Estes Method. Maybe Estes Method number 2. Yeah, Spectral Whispers. Hey, Dad. That's great. Because she knows. So, let's see. Do I want to talk about much more? Maybe. What else? I don't really know what else to talk about. I'm kind of just blabbering on. I'm having fun doing this. I'm first live stream in a long time. I haven't done a live stream. I don't even remember the last one I did. Be right back. Riley, go play.
Hi.
Go play, please.
What's that?
Go play. I was just showing a movie. So for people that might not have ever seen, check out the Bridgewater Triangle. It's a good documentary. This is where I grew up in Massachusetts.
So you grow up?
Yeah, you know, where we used to live.
Yeah.
Can you go play?
I'm in the room.
Alright, well, I think I'm going to be ending this. Is there any questions
Out my
before
way.
I go? You'll have to do an investigation live stream sometime. I've done a few.
There was
You can play with that.
I thought there was a ghost. It was sitting right here.
No, when you turn it on, it beeps. No ghosts. I mean, the light was definitely
And
not.
red!
No, it's all right.
It turned red.
I'll teach you how to use them properly.
It turned red. It turned gold.
All right. Well, let's see.
Turn it right here.
No moving, and I'm not close enough for it to go off from the camera. We'll just wait a second. Sorry, I was late. Hey, Joseph Moore, no problem.
No, my
You can always go back and watch what I was talking about. There's a lot that I just went over, and it's a little jumbled and stuff. But
I thought it turned red.
all right, go play, buddy.
The thing there?
Yeah, see, it just went off.
No,
It's because you're here. That's why it likes you. You seen Ghost Kitty, huh? You seen the Ghost Kitty?
I thought the ghost was still right on your back. It was still right here.
So, what the subjects I've covered, if you have any interest, I just did an investigation. Willoughby Spit is the beach that we're on, and there's
I
a
spit.
Willoughby Spit. Don't spit. Is a ghost that actually likes to walk up and down the beach, as people have said, shadow person. They've seen him,
I don't like
and
shadows.
usually he warns people
No.
before a storm comes in.
There's a white
And
one.
I believe I saw him,
There's a ghost
and you can actually see
go
a
in
shadow
the
figure
corner.
walk by in the second video.
There's-
Will you go play?
I'm trying to put
Go play. Go ahead. You can take that.
No,
Oh. Lego truck. Here, take it.
I
Go
got
play.
it.
Go play. Go. Go ahead.
Now play.
I'll be right out. Difficult with 5-year-olds. But so far this has been great. Thank you for joining me, everybody. Thank you, any subscribers. You guys have subscribed to me. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Probably the most people I've had on a live chat, I think. If anybody has any questions, like a few minutes ago, lights started flickering for no reason. That's more than likely my father-in-law, Al, or there is a girl, I believe, was hung in one of the trees in my yard, because I've gotten that multiple times on Spirit Box. I've gotten it on just REM Pod communicating when I've asked that question out on the porch. It's actually gone off and in more than once, and while I was asking. So, high weird things. Definitely have a lot going on around my house. Check out Fort Monroe. Definitely a haunted place. The ghosts of Fort Monroe. Have you been carving? No. So for a while, I have a camper, and that's where I was doing all my carving. And we just got it back like a few weeks ago, and I just winterized it because it's been so cold out. I do plan on doing more burning. I got a new wood burning kit. Yeah, so new wood burning kit. I'm just going to point this at the light for a moment. Can you do that again? Make the lights flicker. Thank you. Hello. Do it again, please. One more and I'll stop asking. Thank you. yeah, so semi ghost hunt there. That's not usual. I have not ever seen those flicker. Those are black lights in there and then no regular bulb. I have the knob turned all the way up for, I think it was 55 minutes or 58 minutes. No flickering of those lights. Nobody's touching the switch. The switch is right next to the door. Oh, lots of flickering. Hello. That kind of thing is just kind of obvious to me that it is actually something, communicating in a different way. You don't always have to use equipment. I have all my equipment here. I mean, I could leave this on and stuff, but yeah, interesting. I do love that it's happening while I'm talking about all this, of course. So, the carving. I will be making more wands very soon. I plan on making the cut throughs and... Oh, shit. Ah, that was cool. Okay, we're getting good stuff. Check this out. This just turned on. It's a tap light. I'm going to leave it off. So you tap that. Here, I'll do it again. You just tap it and it turns on and off. You kind of got to hit it hard. It just turned on randomly. Let's see if that happens again. As you can see, it is off. Let's see if it turns back on. I'll keep going while this stuff is going on. I keep hearing weird things up on this near the lights, like something's actually tapping that light bulb. This may sound dumb, but some trees are watchers. They store memories. Was hung there. If some of the tree hold the memory of activity is enhanced, maybe. Trees do hold memories. They communicate a lot more. New sciences have found out that mycelium, or fungi, the bed underneath the dirt where fungus grows, and mushrooms use it as a communication. Mushrooms can talk to trees, bushes, grass. Trees can talk and communicate to each other. That's a new science. You can look that up, and that's true. Zeus is watching you. And Thor. What's up, Thor? I got Thor. Where is he? I got Thor. Oh, Thor's hammer! He doesn't have his hammer. I put it over there. Oh, whoops. There goes the lights again. Let's see if I'm jumping. Nope. It's not from me moving. I'm jumping up and down. Okay, maybe that was me, but... I mean, not saying it's paranormal, but... Okay, maybe I should take that back. Stop if you are here. Could you just stop making the light flicker? Thank you. Oh, you're welcome, huh? Thank you. I've never tried to use a light fixture like that. High weirdness, and I love it. I'm getting chills, kind of chicken skinny. Very cool. I still want a couple. I haven't forgotten about them. Oh, high spirits. Yes, I do have to set something up. I don't really do good. I don't go live much. I don't have a shop. All right. Yes, I will. The lights are going nuts now. Those don't make sense. For the whole first hour here, nothing. The switch is on all the way, and the lights were like that the whole time for an hour, and now they're flickering like crazy. Just goes to show you can use a lot more than equipment to find paranormal. But I will be sending high spirits some wands. I do still have 10 or 12 wands left. I gave some out at the end of the SrSpookfest where I worked as I heard a knock. I felt a knock. Oh, it's probably just my kid running around. Here he comes again. Pew, I know, but usually gets scorned. Pretty interesting lights going off as much as it is. I'm going to shut them off and turn them back on. Hold on. Alright, well, I guess they just want to mess with the light right now. So I have 20 or so more that I want to carve the wands. They're all handmade. I carve them by hand. I'll be putting crystals in them and different stones. I have a lot of stones that have, like, you know, magical properties. I do believe in that. I subscribe to weird things. Not so much haunted objects, but crystals and different rosemary, sage, different elements have different power for different things. I'm more of a wizard. I'm more pagan than anything. I believe in everything. Everything comes from some type of true story. There's no story you've heard. You know, some can be completely made up, but a lot of history, Atlantis, from, you know, the Egyptians having light bulbs, things like that, that are true. I believe they're true. I mean, look at the pyramids. There's no burn marks inside any pyramids, but they had light. How'd they walk around inside a pyramid with no torches? There's no burn marks inside pyramids. How the hell did they do that? So they had to have, I mean, the Baghdad battery. They had power. That's what I say. Let's see. Ask if it's here to talk. Here's the thing. I could set up my REM pod. I could set up the K2. I have a 5-year-old in the other room jumping around like crazy. So the REM pod, if it's on the floor or even on the bureau, it's probably going to go off because of vibration. This, I don't really have anywhere to put it behind me. Could you make this? I'm far enough away where, so right here it will go off if you're close, but as long as you're 3 or 4 feet away from a camera or your phone, it won't go off. Let's see, anybody want to make this little light in my hand go off? Hello, Peachy. Oh, thank you, Peachy. You subbed. You're awesome. I think you picked that knock up. Just rewinded it. Heard a knock. It could be my kid. He is jumping around in the other room. But the light on the ceiling for over an hour did not flicker. Now let's see if we can catch it flickering. Could you make that light? Yep. Strange, because I just have the light turned up all the way, and for the whole hour it did nothing. Could you stop flickering if you're here? Just make them stop completely flickering, or make them go strobe light. Oh, so you are here. Make them flicker again if you're here. Go ahead. Thank you. So, now I know this house is haunted. I know what I've seen. I can't prove it 100%. Nobody can. Even on like a live like this, you're not gonna get something where people will 100% believe you. I mean, shit. I have a ghost voice out in the woods. It's called Ghost Voice, Real Ghost Voice, Bridgewater Triangle, Massachusetts. I've had backlash, people saying that it might just be me breathing, but it sounds like a girl. It sounds like go away or stay away or something like that. And it's in my ear because I even turn around and say, I think that was a dog bark off in the distance. It was not. Reviewing it, I realized what it said. I have many videos. I mean, check out Ghost Hunts and More playlist. That's not even all my investigations. I haven't put all my investigations on there yet. Yeah, I only plan on doing an hour, but I'll keep going. Since I'm getting weird activity, I'll keep it going. I'm going to try and play with the light till it doesn't do this. Shut it off and okay, so the light is turned up all the way. It shouldn't flicker even if I, yeah. Now, if you're seeing different colors, it's because of that string light up there. But when you see it flashing from over above me over here, that's those lights. Pretty weird that those keep doing that. Are you a vivid dreamer? Yes. Um, so, like when I had my first experience with the UFO and my friends ran off the beach like an idiot, I was waving at the UFO. For weeks after, I had the same dream night after night of me in the UFO waving at myself and seeing my friends on the beach and us run away and then disappeared. Like I just whoop disappeared off into the distance. High strangeness. I've had other dreams. I've had very strange. I've died once. I fell off a car when I was, I think I was 16 and a half. I got on the hood of my friend's car. He drove about 60 miles an hour and pulled like a half donut tail whip to go into a parking lot. I went flying 63 feet, landed on my head on the concrete. They said my brain basically should have fallen out of my head. I did have a small cut on my head. My knuckles were all ripped open. Eyes, ears, nose, mouth, everything was bleeding. So I got med flighted into Boston. I woke up on the helicopter for a few seconds and said, they asked me who the president was. I said Bill Bush because it was in between Bill Clinton and George Bush changing places for presidency. So Bill Bush was the president, close enough. But when I did wake up after passing away, I woke up in the hospital with a doctor's fingers in my butt because they had to check if I was internally bleeding. I didn't like that much. I tried to fight the doctor. The next day, nurses and the doctor came in and said, we don't know. I had a lump on my head that was the size of a cantaloupe. And then the next day it was gone. My head had already like healed where the cut was. No problems. I couldn't remember a few days before the accident, but I remember being in the helicopter. And then I was just in a black place. Very relaxing, very nice. I was there, but I didn't have a body. And then I remember somebody like, come on, and boom, right back into my body. I don't know who said, hey, come on, and I just whisked away back into my body. I mean, very relaxing, very nice place wherever I went. True story, I do have newspaper clippings of that when I died in Easton up in Massachusetts. I'll probably show that at some point. I think I have actually. But yeah, any more questions or anything I wanted to show? Billy, oh Billy. That's like one of my favorite pops. We had to take him out of the box because the birds ripped apart the box to try and get to him. So now he's out of his box. So, are you a vivid dreamer? Oh, that's the last thing somebody said. Yes. So, with things like ghosts, it's just, to me, 100%. Ghosts are real. There's no doubt. Ghosts are real. Can you make the lights flicker? Can you do it again? Go ahead, make them flicker. Thank you. Very strange that it went for over an hour without the lights flickering. So, I definitely want to do another investigation with Spectral Whispers. When we were up there, it just was Christmas time, a little too busy for us to go and do stuff. We did a little investigation with the teddy bear. I don't think anything went off, which is fine. It's good to go investigate. Nothing happens, then that's fine. I'm not just sure what they are. 100? I mean, not all ghosts are people. There are things, not saying demons. Demons do not just come out and attack people and run around. You'd have to either provoke enough or do something or be in an area where past things have happened, really bad things, or you summon them yourself. If you want to summon a demon, go ahead, but I wouldn't. Um, Basically, I'm not looking for any evil. A lot of people out there looking for skinwalkers, out there looking for ghosts or cryptids. I love the idea of cryptids. Mothman's one of my favorites. I believe 100% Mothman was something. There's too many reports. Okay, it's just you. Me?
Yeah.
I'm still alive. We got ghosts. Look at the light. Oh, now it's not going to do it because you're in here. Oh, maybe. But really weird. The whole first hour of my live stream, so I've been going an hour and 20. The lights did not flicker at all. And then I'm sitting here and I'm talking about high strangeness and ghosts and weird stuff. And then the lights start going nuts. So that's just another, small sign, but a sign.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean dead people. Don't think it's dead people. Well, not all ghosts are dead people. Some things are different. It's not always dead people. Dead animals. We have a ghost cat at my house, and I know that, but I'm thinking I'm being told that they want me to get off. Yeah, doppelgangers and stuff like that, or a mimic. Yeah, certain things do exist that might not be a person. There are evils out there, but I don't think all running around saying, "Oh my God, a demon," is pretty crazy because you're not. Hey, Sky Talker's got a ghost cat too. That's awesome. Yeah, people are more dangerous than any spirit. I've done foreclosed homes, and usually homeless people. You gotta watch out, don't get stabbed. I mean, even going out and investigating, there are a lot of homeless people around here, which worries me more than any spirit or anything. It's people are the scary things. People are pretty much mostly evil. So a lot of people aren't. I try and be as nice as I can. I try and debunk myself sometimes. I have some videos where I'm probably overreacting rather than just debunking what I think is happening. But hey, in the moment, when you're scared, it's a little difficult. Going out in the woods alone at night, the scariest thing you can do. I'm even abandoned places. I have Ghost Cat too, that's very cool. I caught a good voice. To me, it was reacting to me being there. But I don't necessarily think it was a dead person, possibly something from another plane that got a brief look into ours. Exactly. There's the multi-dimensional thing is a very big possibility. I think some of the Marvel movies are trying to show us that multiverse is probably real. They're trying to disclose more and more certain things to us, UFOs. There is definitely life out there that is not human. I think I heard a ping of a bit metal I kicked just before. Right. You could set something off without even meaning to when you're doing an investigation, and something can come through that you didn't even think that was going to happen. You're trying to catch a ghost, and something else might come through. I think it's how we react to our visitors that matters. I don't feel scared when my orbs or shadow chum pop in and out. I feel affection. Exactly, like the black orb I saw. It kind of freaked me out at first. I thought it was like an eye floaty. It wasn't. And I rubbed my eyes and it was still floating across my room. I was like, oh, that was interesting. Hello. Just, I don't know, I guess be respectful. Try and be nice. And if it's not nice, then you can sage your house. You can say, go away, please. You can use different things. You have protection crystals. You have all sorts of stuff. You could say a prayer if you want, if you're religious. I love it. Get a genuine buzz from it. Yep. really the reason I started was because I saw a shadow kid in an old asylum up in the Bridgewater Triangle. I had never believed in ghosts. I didn't think there was really ghosts. I mean, I liked the show Taps, and I liked Ghost Adventures was fun, and the different shows on it, and different, like, oh, we're going live at this, and then you find out a lot of it's fake. I mean, of course, a lot of people just trying to make money. I'm probably one of the smallest YouTubers that has been doing this for 5.5 years. I'm never going to stop. I don't care if a lot of people see it or not. I try and push some of the evidence I do have, but I'm not really, I'm doing it more for myself. I like to see my old memories. That's why I don't just have ghost stuff on my channel. I have all sorts of stuff, museums, road trips, all sorts of crazy stuff that I've done. Skateboarding. But I'm probably going to be going soon. Any more questions? Yeah, I'll end this at an hour and a half, so a few more minutes. If anybody has anything they want to ask me or talk about one of my old videos, or if you have something you captured, let me know. We'll check it out. I already have written down the Deborah Hatswell. I will check that out, Deborah Hatswell. Shout out Beardo. Beardo does a lot of debunking. Beardo Gets Scared. Very good channel. PSI have given me great ideas for just investigation tips. Very scientific. They are very serious about trying to find the paranormal, so check out PSI. Who else? I love a lot of channels on YouTube that cover these things. The Y-Files. Y-Files is great. Okay, this is Sky Talker. I had a clear woman's voice say into my ear, it's cleaners. I bent over picking up toys. I spun around and went out the door. My 3-year-old and ended up the hall said, Monday, go in your room, mommy. I said White Monday. Oh. White Monster. Not Monday. Okay, White Monster. So, actual full-on apparition possible, especially kids. They are much more open. It's 12:30 here. Alright, later, high spirits. You have a good one. It's only like probably 7, 8 here. Crow of Judas is awesome too. Crow of Judas is very good. I do watch Parple. Check out Parple. He's funny. He does a lot of debunk. Very interesting Sky Talker. Very cool. Later. Have a good one, High Spirits. Check out High Spirits if you haven't checked him out. He's got some good stuff. I've checked out his channel. Check out some of my other videos. Go send some more. There's a whole playlist. I heard it and he saw a white light monster. Yeah, I like Crow. Crow Judas is very cool. I like his mask and he's got a cool voice. But I'm probably going to be signing off. I really appreciate everybody that came in just listening to my crazy rant of, everything. Ghost investigation, probably this Thursday I will be going out because we're supposed to be getting like 50, 60 degree weather, maybe 40 at night, but not cold enough. For me, I will go out pretty much anytime. The past couple nights it's been like 15, 20 degrees, so I just haven't been going out. I will have more investigations. I plan on going to the landing site of the 600 people that landed in a tall ship down on the beach over there. I want to investigate that area. There's some lighthouses, Fort Monroe. Even though technically you're not supposed to go do ghost hunts at Fort Monroe, I will probably take my equipment there and just go pretend I'm visiting, check it out, and then pull out some equipment and do a quick ghost investigation while I'm there. I could get in trouble, but really I don't care. I just want to get some evidence, and probably one of the more haunted spots, like 2 miles from my house, not even. See you, chat mates. Later, guys. I just want to thank you again. See you. Have a good night, everybody. I hope you have a great one. Keep me updated if you have any activity. You can just leave me a message on one of my videos or on this. And yeah, have a great one. Peace out, everybody. Bye, B. Bye. Bye, Joseph. Bye, everybody. Have a good one.